Welcome to what will be the penultimate of my Randall reports from this Faithless tour. The tour is nearly over. We finish in Brixton next week. And I want to begin by saying that there have been lots of places that we visited on this tour that I would have liked to have made reports from, but I simply didn't have time. So let me at least give special mention to a couple of places. Budapest is one city that we've been to twice on this tour, a city that we always have a fantastic time in, and a city that I highly recommend. And I also want to mention the audiences of Zagreb in Croatia and Belgrade in Serbia, who completely blew us away on this last leg of the tour. Now we find ourselves in Dubai, in the United Arab Emirates. Now the land that I'm standing on at the moment, as recently as 20 years ago, was sea, and most of the city of Dubai over there was desert. But with the money derived from the oil that was discovered here in the United Arab Emirates, the city of Dubai was built. It attracted business people from around the world because of its low or zero rates of tax, and now it attracts tourists from around the world too. Over my shoulder there is the hotel that we're staying in. Come and have a quick look inside. Here is the immense lobby. I'm told that that structure in the middle is made entirely of glass. Here's one of the corridors, and this is the fish tank at the end of the corridor. And here the luxury shopping mall attached to the hotel, complete with saccharine, cheesy Kenny G style jazz. It's weird, all over the world that sort of music seems to be picked as the soundtrack for the activities of the idle rich. And here's a small selection of cars in the car park. Dubai is a weird playground in the desert, a brash mecca for conspicuous consumerism. There are water theme parks, you can swim with dolphins, you can play golf, you can even go skiing here. The amount of energy it must take to sustain a place like this must be mind-boggling, and the cost to the environment immense. But I suppose in one sense it's a tribute to the people who built Dubai that such a place can exist. So I think it's only fitting that we should go and visit some of those construction workers. When you spend a bit of time in Dubai, what you start to see is a rather disturbing sort of almost racial hierarchy. The native population, that's the Emiratis, make up only 20% of the total population, and it's members of the Emiratis who sit at the top of the socio-economic tree. Below them would, I suppose, be the European and North American business people, and then there are the service sector workers, often from countries like the Philippines and Sri Lanka. And at the bottom of the socio-economic tree are the people who actually built this city, the construction workers, many of whom come from the Indian subcontinent, Pakistan, India and Bangladesh. Behind me are the compounds where those construction workers and factory workers stay. I've only been travelling in the cab for about 15 minutes, but suddenly the immense wealth of the so-called palm on which we're staying seems a very long way away. I'm going to go into one of these compounds and ask the workers what sort of wages they can expect to earn. Okay, so these guys are factory workers.
Yes, they are all factory workers.
63 of them live here.
Yeah.
How much do you guys earn in a month? What's the sort of pay like?
How much salary? Too much problem. Working very hard.
Yeah.
This factory gas lighting, very problem. This working very hard. The salary 500 basic.
Only basic.
Allowance
500.
Basic salary.
Only monthly.
1
month 500 basic.
1 month 500 basic salary. Food allowance 280. 280.
So 500 a month.
Working very hard. Working very hard. This very hard working. This coming no salary. I am 10-year company working. Finish no salary, no coming.
Yeah.
Next no coming salary.
Yeah.
A small salary, very problem.
Yeah.
This.
Basic salary 100 basic only 500.
Yeah.
500.
I joined this company 22 months ago.
Yeah.
But now stay same salary.
Same salary. After 22 months,
Only
the same salary.
500. More no.
No eating time, no tea time, no bathroom This bathroom time, this working, always working. Tea time 10 minutes. Always tea time 10 minutes. After our medical.
Oh, these guys have got to go. Thank you guys, thank you, thank you, thank you. Nice one, thank you. Yeah, the bus is just pulled up outside to take these guys to work, but that was a fascinating chat. Now, those guys were factory workers working for a lighting company, and I need to check this, but I think that their basic monthly salary is equivalent to about 100 euros. If they wanted to buy tickets to see Faithless, that would cost them about 2 weeks' wages. Now, the conditions in their compound were relatively good compared with those endured by a lot of workers here in Dubai who live in overcrowded metal containers without proper ventilation or running water. During the boom years here, thousands of workers lived in conditions like that. But when the world economic crisis finally caught up with Dubai, lots of those workers were simply deported without even having been paid for the work that they had done. Cities like Dubai are particularly stark examples of the same logic that underpins capitalism all over the world. Human labour and the natural resources of the planet are ruthlessly exploited in order to ensure lives of leisure and luxury for the few. Their wealth doesn't trickle down. In fact, the gap between the rich and the poor just grows wider. I think we need a different kind of a world in which wealth is redistributed to people like the workers that I met here, a world in which the economy is planned in a sensible, environmentally sustainable and democratic way. If that means less giant fish tanks, golf courses and ski slopes in the desert, so be it. Much of Dubai might be brand spanking new, but it's built on a set of values and social relations which are well past their sell-by date.